Hello, mixtresses and mixters. This is Mixtressrae. You're watching Mixtress video. For those of you guys that have been with me on my testing out my new camcorder journey, I'm just letting you know what the settings are when I start, so that if you have a preference as far as the general aesthetics of my YouTube channel, you can let me know, and also for my own purposes in doing the same. Did I say hello, mixtresses and mixters? This is Mixtressrae. You're watching Mixtress video. I feel like I didn't do that. If I did, sorry, I just said it twice. I am going to do an unboxing today. Oh, okay. I just told you I was going to tell you the settings of my camcorder, and then I completely didn't. So today I don't have a filter on. This is just the normal colorization. This is like the automatic settings or whatever on my camera. And also I do not have a special microphone plugged in, so this is just the audio from the camcorder itself. I'm basically every video I'm doing, and I'm off this week, so I might be doing like a video every single day this week. It could happen. I'm going to be experimenting a lot of like different settings, figuring out what I like, all that stuff. I'm gonna spray some clearing spray. I'm not sure what this is. I mean, I know that it came from a Midnight Muses box and I broke the bottle accidentally. But other than that, I don't know what's in it, except that it smells very good. Yum. Okay. Okay, I don't normally do unboxings because I am going to light incense. I'm not going to light a candle today because I'm always like almost setting things on fire when I have a candle in one of these close-up shots. So I'm trying to be slightly more safe. Okay. I'm really excited. Okay, so I've known about this deck for, I don't know, when did they first announce it? Like a year ago? More? Okay. I should have done the plastic before starting this. There we go. Known about this deck for a while. I managed to wait and not pre-order it. It was very hard. I'm trying not to pre-order things as often because I just get salty whenever I pay for something months and months and months, or even sometimes years when it comes to Kickstarters, before you actually get the item. And I have sort of a depth year goal for myself this year that I'm only allowed to acquire 12 decks over the course of the year, to acquire and keep, because sometimes a deck doesn't work for me and I send it back out of my life. But so this is actually only the 4th deck that I've ordered for myself this year. So pretty cool. I'm proud of myself with that. Little moose on the side. And I believe this is the world card. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Got this sort of peachy moment on the inside of the box. I don't know how well you can see that. Everything looks very overexposed, so I'm not sure if that's the way it's actually going to look, because it actually does look quite different when I see the final video versus what is showing on the LCD screen. Okay, this does look like it might be not quite as thick. Okay, I'm going to do a comparison actually. Let me go get my Modern Witch. Should have had that out already. No, you're not coming in here, kitten, because you will just want to come out immediately after. I'm sorry. She's probably going to paw under the door now. Okay, so yeah, that is actually, like, as far as like thickness of the box, you can see that is a big difference, which tells me that this deck is not going to be as thick. That is exciting. Okay. I actually no longer have the guidebook for this deck because I've had 3 copies of Modern Witch and I've given away my guidebooks for all of them except the German version. So I can't even read the one Modern Witch guidebook that I actually kept. Okay, I do want to do a comparison. Okay, no, it is actually... Is it the same thickness? No. No. Okay, so we're looking at 1, 2... This one is 5... Modern Witch is 5 cards thicker. You probably can't tell, but I am actually holding it level at the bottom. Modern Witch is 5 cards thicker, and this is without the 2 extra cards, the You Are a Badass and the Everything is Fine card. So this one, both of these decks have 2 extra cards, because this one has a white Numen and a black Numen, I think. So both of them have the exact same amount of cards normally. So this one's actually... Because this one has 2 less cards in it, this one's actually quite a bit thicker than this one. So that makes me happy because y'all know, if you've been around my channel, I bitch about the cardstock of Modern Witch. And it was like, I almost thought about not getting this white Numen because I was afraid. Okay. Oh yes, this is way more flexible. Okay, I just put up my Modern Witch and now I'm going to take it out again. This is a casual unboxing process, not professional. I mean, this is a very hard thing to actually demonstrate, but it doesn't seem to sound that different or look that different on camera, but it is different. In fact, I can't wait to shuffle this, so let's go ahead and flip through the cards so I can shuffle. So people are talking about the sort of graininess on the cards, but I haven't been able to really see it in a video, and I can't tell if you can see it right now, to be honest. I can't tell because... So there's... And I actually watched one of Elba BG, one of her videos talking about her deck. And she talked about how when she was creating artwork, she showed how kind of her last step, she likes to add this sort of grainy layer over everything. To me, because it actually goes onto the border as well, to me it is a very consistent aesthetic. I think it looks really nice. I don't know if it's picking up on the camera. But in videos when you hear people talk about the grainy thing, it's just sort of this noise filter that she uses in Photoshop, I believe. Is this focusing? Can't tell. I think it is. That's the one drawback with having the camcorder, is that on my phone I could see with great detail exactly what you were going to see, but with the smaller, more pixely LCD screen, even though the video quality is even better with my camcorder, I can't actually completely tell what you guys can see. Look at this High Priestess. This is a very sexy High Priestess. I am really excited about this deck. The fact that it is a sacred animal. The shininess on the cards isn't annoying to me. I'm to a point where glossy cards do not bother me. They used to kind of bother me. And yeah, as far as taking pictures and the fact that you're getting a little bit of a glare on the camera, that's a thing. But in actual everyday use, glossy cards, they hold up really well. I like them. Oh, wow. I couldn't tell this in watching like walkthroughs online, but she has this gorgeous triangle on her face. Can you see that? Pretty, pretty, pretty. Oh, wow. See, I like the texture on the cards. And there's texture on their skin as well. They have like little moles and stuff, which I have very moly skin. This art style feels almost nostalgic to me. Something about it is like a modernized version of like art that I feel like I experienced in kids' books or something whenever I was a kid. I love the moose. I'm pretty sure I don't have a single deck with a moose in it, so that's nice to bring some moose energy to the table. Shout out to my childhood friend who goes by Moose. Wow. I really do think that me and this deck are going to be great friends. It's exactly in my sort of wheelhouse of like, I really love a lot of animal energy in my decks. Wow, look at this death card. Hello, gorgeous. Wow. I love a sort of desert vibe, and I feel like this kind of has that. Not in a very literal sense, but like the landscape feels kind of like an arid landscape. I love animals. I love a desert vibe. I love the beauty and movement. I like that this is a different tower card, but I don't know if I actually like it because I feel like it's going to take me a little bit to realize that this is not the Three of Swords. You know, like at first glance, it's going to make me think, oh, is that the three? No, it's not. It's the tower. Actually looking through the viewfinder more than I'm actually looking at the cards in person. And also just kind of the symbolism is in my perfect like sweet spot of like, this is a very RWS deck, but it's a new interpretation. It's not totally straight up RWS, but it's close enough that it's in my comfort zone because that's the system that I work with primarily. And I've come to realize that one of my sticking points is ace cards. I really need there to be hands of my ace cards, and this is really great because this deck has consistent aces. They all have the same theme of several hands reaching up, and I've not seen that before. I like that. Most of the walkthroughs I've seen, people don't really like this card, but I do. I feel like sometimes, like, celebrations, you know, there's a dark side to celebrations. You know, like, you don't necessarily, I mean, this isn't, like, I don't see this as a dark card necessarily, but people are like, they look so somber. I think in the moment, like I can just, for example, in my own life, my wedding, the actual experience wasn't that great because I was very overstimulated. There were people everywhere. It felt very unnatural, just in general. The whole idea of getting married in front of people feels very unnatural to me. Sort of like one of those things that, like, when you look back on it, you're going to think more fondly of a situation, or my experience with, like, celebratory moments in life, like weddings and, like, bonfires and that kind of stuff. Like, in the moment sometimes, if you're surrounded by people, even if you're surrounded by people you love, and this could just be an autistic introvert standpoint, you're not necessarily having as much fun as you will think you were having when you reflect on it later. Does that make sense? I don't know. For some reason, that card, I get it. I get it. Yeah, I'm really liking this. I'm actually liking it more than I thought I would, and I was pretty sure. I mean, being that this is only the 4th deck I've acquired this year, and my first deck of the year was an RWS deck. Okay, there are actually, I don't know if there's more than 8 snakes, but you only see 8 heads, right? Because that was like, when I saw this on a different walkthrough, I was like, oh my god, are there more than 8 snakes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So maybe they're just really long snakes. So that's okay. That's alright. I like all the snake imagery in the wands. Love this page's pants. Those are amazing. Okay, here's where I have to bitch. Where's the cat? This is a sacred animal deck, and there's no black cat in the Queen of Wands. There's not even an animal in this card. Hello, White Numen, Sacred Animal Tarot. Where's the black cat in the Queen of Wands? Hello? We get a snake in the King of Wands. There's no snake? We could at least have a snake. I would be happy with a black snake instead of a black cat, if that's how it has to be. I love the movement in this card. Like they're all sort of jumping into the air. Sorry, I keep looking back and forth because, like, through the view screen, this doesn't look as gorgeous as it looks in person. So, like, I want to look at them in person, but if I look at them in person, then I'm not seeing how much glare you guys have to deal with. So I might have to, like, you know, this is my initial first impressions of looking through the view screen with you guys. Wow, look at this. I love the coloring. Wow. Got all these cups. Not sure if he looks quite as smug as I need him to. I love a smug Nine of Cups. I like the sound of my camera. I don't know if you can hear sort of like the white noise of like the mechanical parts of my camcorder. That's why I might end up not using my Tascam mic as much, because you don't get to hear that sound with my Tascam mic. Got some little baby Loch Nesses or something happening in the water there. There is I feel like there's also a clear color story in the suits as well. It's subtle, but the swords are very much like this sort of like taupes and teals and pond scum greens. Love this. This is a very empowering Four of Swords, which I appreciate. I'm really having like the opposite reaction that I've seen some people have to like the grainy quality. Like, I know I said that already, but like I think it makes it look really consistent, because like online it almost looks like, wow, there's a lot of border to these cards, but in person, for me, that graininess that's added to the entire image, including the border, really like pulls it all together artistically. I'm trapped. I'm trapped with my rooster. Does the guidebook say anything about the rooster? I just want to know. 8 of Swords. The swords form a cage through which she can easily pass, yet she lacks the sight to know that she has done so. She is chained to a rooster, the animal spirit symbolizing the passage of time and untapped empowerment. Okay. Now I'm remembering that Casper, the boy diviner, he looked up that same card and read about it, and I thought, ooh, rooster, passage of time. I didn't know that, and then I completely forgot. This is interesting, too. Got this extra symbolism here of like these little eyes. Like she's sending up her awareness to break the swords. Yep, I'm into this. Of course, it's very hard to tell like how you're actually going to feel about a deck when you're working with it, when you're first flipping through it, because sometimes there can be a total disconnect between like you think it's a beautiful deck and your initial impressions are very, very good, and then you actually use it and it doesn't work for you. I don't think that will be the case with this deck. I'm getting like a little excited about shuffling. Now that we're in the Pentacles, we're in the last suit. These green tones are so gorgeous too in the Pentacles. I'm gonna move this. And it's very stark contrast too, because you've got all of those vivid, beautiful greens, and then you get to the 5 and it's just, it becomes hopeless. It's Kali scratching the door. She's like, I know you're doing something awesome in there. I'll bring you some sacred animal black cat energy. What's up with the mask? Let's find out, shall we? Because I think this deck is actually going to refer to the imagery, which is nice. A stranger hidden behind a ritual mask and armed with a primitive weapon sits beside the temple. Do they challenge us or do they call to us? Either path will require great work and will present equally great rewards. That's an interesting take. She really thinks she can open the door. Okay, this almost makes up for the no black cat in the Queen of Wands. To have 3 birds in flight in the Nine of Pentacles. I love this. I love this too. I really prefer a 10 of Pentacles without people in it, personally. So this is great. This is wonderful. Look at him. He's looking so comfortable. Wow. I love the choice in decks whenever you have the knights still riding an animal but isn't necessarily... Like, I like when the choice of animal is kind of based on the suit instead of just always being a horse. Sorry to be crude, but I love the way that Alba does her nipples. I just love how they're huge. Okay, now we get to the extra cards. The white Numen and the black Numen. Okay, the part that I've been waiting for. I gotta shuffle these babies, which means I gotta do some contorting around this tripod so I can do it properly. Let me take a drink. Okay. I think this is gonna be easier. I'm really excited. I'm just like so excited. Yes, okay. They're stiff because they are thick, but like there was no, you were not going to be able to do this with Modern Witch. You guys, if you've had it, you know. Like, they are stiff enough, though. You are going to, like, if you are a riffle shuffler like me, you're going to bend the cards by shuffling them like that. I don't personally care about that. I am totally fine with bending the cards if I get to fucking shuffle them the way that I want to shuffle them. So let's just pull a couple cards here. This will be our little baby reading, and then I will leave you to the rest of your beautiful day. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Okay. Queen of Cups. The Hermit. This is like one of my favorite cards, I think. Just because, like I said before, you don't really necessarily get a moose in a deck. And Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands has been coming up a lot for me lately because I've been sort of dealing with a 10-year anniversary of a traumatic event in my life, and the theme of hypervigilance not necessarily needing, like, you're almost done with the hypervigilance of, like, you know, the PTSD that I've gone through. I feel like a huge amount of healing surrounding that kind of thing. And I thought I would feel the opposite because I'm sure my town is going to do a lot of weird 10-year anniversary commemorative events for this particular thing. I don't know why I'm being weird about it. It was a tornado 10 years ago. I've mentioned it a lot on my channel. But I feel like, you know, all the readings I've been doing lately have kind of been alluding to the supreme healing that is really going to happen in this 10-year event. I think the quality of this cardstock is great. If it were, I would prefer it to be a little bit thinner, but this is completely preferable to Modern Witch's super thick, stiff, shiny cardstock. Let me see. Like, I didn't really compare the finish. It's a little smoother. I don't really have the vocabulary to articulate that, but just in case you have Modern Witch Tarot and you were kind of reluctant to jump on White Numen, I don't think the cardstock's going to be an issue for you. I think it's okay. I think it's all right. Let's also just kind of, you know what I'm noticing now that I'm seeing these out? So we have kind of a smaller font or typeface or however you're supposed to say that with the minor versus the major, it looks like. And it looks like there's also different coloration on the different suits. So let me get an example of a sword. So we have them all out here. Finding a sword. There we go. Here's a sword. So yeah, with the sword, it looks like it might be black. I'm not sure if you can tell this, but On the cups, this is a blue. On the major arcana, it appears to be sort of a brownish, dark red. On the wands, is it different from the swords? Yeah. The wands is a slightly different tone than the swords. And the pentacles is like a dark, dark green. So I didn't notice that while I was flipping through, but just like I can see that now as I see these cards next to each other. Let's read from the guidebook for these 3 cards too, just for fun. I love a short and sweet guidebook, which I feel like is what we have here. Queen of Cups. Where are we? Okay, here we go. The Queen holds the chalice from which pours the world's water. Submerged, relaxed, and in full grasp of her power, she is at one with the subconscious rather than the mundane and practical. Her third eye signifies exceptionally strong intuition, perhaps even psychic skills. I love her. She's a great Queen of Cups, and that cup is evocative of the RWS cup in the Queen of Cups as well. Sort of that very impractical looking vessel. You're not going to drink out of that every day. That's a sacred drinking cup, bitch. Okay, Hermit. Keywords: inner journey, wisdom, and solitude. The Hermit holds aloft the lamp which has guided him all the way here to the portal. Through this portal, he will not leave this world but transcend it. Once a beast, now he is raised to walk upon 2 legs and has an almost human appearance. Yes, it's a very human-looking wolf. He is accompanied by the spirit of the snake and the eagle, friends to those who abandoned the accepted ways of the world. The Hermit's one remaining barrier to passing through the portal are his antlers, for only by losing the last vestiges of his former self can he move forward. Only then can his journey inwards begin. I'm not sure if I like that. Like, I don't think he should have to lose his antlers to walk through the portal. He can just turn his head a little bit to get through it. I think for me personally, that particular interpretation, I don't think he should have to lose his antlers. That's just me. Okay, I just closed the book, but yeah, we're going to do the wands too. Forgot. 9 of Wands. With a lantern in hand, the woman follows the path. Behind her, there is a descending mountain, and in front of it, there are 8 wands embedded in the ground. Her fixed stare and ready wand expresses her determination. Regardless of whether the wands are a resource or an obstacle, she is ready to move ahead. Yeah, that works. That works. Is she like in water? Doesn't say. Just says in the ground. So it's like her legs are just completely submerged in the ground for some reason. Maybe she's trudging through sand. Anyway, first impressions of this deck. I like that I can shuffle it. I didn't even talk about the backs. I don't love the backs just because this is a color story that isn't my thing. You know, we got gold, taupe, and blue. Those are some of my least favorite colors, but overall the color scheme in the deck itself I really like, and I'm not really mad at this backing. And I don't use reversals, so I don't care that it's not reversible. Yeah, I'm really happy, particularly because, you know, like, especially when you've been waiting for a deck for a long time. I don't know about you guys, but like, I tend to be more disappointed with decks that I've been waiting for a long time, which is why Kickstarter is a bad idea for me. However, I just backed 2 more Kickstarter decks this last weekend. I still have time to pull out, and I might, because I tend to get angry at waiting for decks. And that's just my own Aries moon problem right there. But yeah, because I've known about this deck for such a long time, I think the combination of it being an affordable deck really helps for me. Like, I've known about this deck for a long time, but I didn't have to pay like $80 for it or anything. This is a deck that you can get right now on Amazon for like $22. I actually paid a little bit more for it because I knew it would get to me faster if I ordered it from Books A Million. And yeah, I just ordered it. I got it in 5 days. So took a little bit longer than it usually does. But this was, I don't know. I'm babbling at this point because I just kind of am stalling because I just want to look at these cards longer. Just these 3 cards. Just the 3 that we just picked. And yeah, we've got lantern moments on both of these cards. So yeah, I don't know what I'm saying with that. Except I'm very happy. I think this is going to be, I just kind of want to shuffle. I want to shuffle this deck. And this is actually, if you are an overhand shuffler, you're not going to have as many flying cards as you would with Modern Witch, but I think it's going to be a good flying cards deck too. I think you're going to be able to do that for sure. Yeah, I think this is nice. Are there any spreads in here? I want to say I saw one at the back earlier. Yeah, we have Path to the Sorcerer spread, Bond of the Numen, and just kind of your basic spreads. Love it. Love it. Very happy. Initial impressions, very happy. Let me know, guys, if you, those of you guys that have seen some of the decks that I have on my channel, if there's a particular deck that you'd like me to do unfair comparisons with. Most likely I will do an unfair comparisons with this deck sometime soon. Yeah, I'm not sure what my next video is going to be. Like, I'm kind of thinking about doing a tour of my favorite cemetery. So yeah, I don't know. Probably that's going to happen in the next couple days, I would assume. Why am I babbling so much? I don't know. I like you guys. Thank you for watching. Bye.